Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Thursday, the 14th of April. Looking at the euro dollar first, and we've finally seen a break of the lows of the 6th of April. It's really looking like it could head off towards its uh, monthly pivot at this rate, 34.50, all beckoning down there. It would appear that some of the support has gone. However, there still is, I can still see quite a lot of orders sitting just below us in this sort of area here. There's quite a clump of buy orders still sitting. So it could be that we find even getting down to this pivot takes a bit of time. 1250 is, I think, the figure I'm looking at. Let me just check on my 1250. So we're just approaching that back now, actually. So it'll be interesting to see if this holds up or just continues pushing down. I've got a whole lot between 1250 and 1200, which would see us hitting the pivot, but that's where the buy orders are sitting at the moment. As I say, they could just be eroded as we've seen this sell-off, but looking weak at the moment. Okay, so really euro certainly looking on the weaker side. Potential for us to be running down here. However, if we see any sort of support and a decent bounce, we'd look at the daily pivot maybe, but again, we've got the 21s moving averages before it, so it may be a sluggish, slow old move. Looking at cable, and cable is, well, it's again rolled over, not quite put a daily pivot swing in, but looking relatively bearish all the same, and had a decent move down through the Asian session so far. It's already gone through its S1, S2. Goodness, it's pushing on. There was a bit of a pinch from yesterday with quite a tight range. It ended up in, so the pivot's a bit pinched here. It could continue down towards that S3 area. The lot actually at 142. There was a lot of orders on the sell side. Let me just check this one. We've already gone through that lot. Let me just refresh this. That's better. That's why we had a lot of sell orders at 142. Right, that's right. I just needed to refresh it to this morning's time, and we're really sitting there then at support at 141 now. So just down here, but it's very thin. And as I said before, if we break out of this daily wedge that sort of sat there, well, it's still got some time to get down to the lows of that. So we could just continue drifting off on the cable there. Okay, dollar yen continues its route to the upside. Potential to get back towards its daily 21 at some point. It was holding on to the 8 moving average for a while yesterday, but it's managed to break on through that, through the 50, and looking relatively robust at the moment, although consolidating from where we're sitting at the moment. If it starts breaking down, gets through these 21s, well, it could be on for the daily pivot, but at the moment it's really looking heads on. It may just continue. A lot of this markets look quite weak. So this, this is a yen being weak, of course, as it's the dollar yen. Just to explain. Okay, Aussie dollar, as I said yesterday, I was concerned about it failing at these highs here, and it's failed again, just rolling over somewhat. It does. Holding on. Well, this would be interesting. It seems to be holding on where it's sitting at the moment. It's come back down to its daily S1, had a decent bounce off that. A break of the daily pivot could see us pushing back up towards yesterday's highs, but at this juncture, I'm more looking at just this lower highs, lower lows coming through here a little bit, and I do wonder if it would just topple back towards the Asian session lows at some point. Looking weak at the moment. To say, for me, it would need to be for long side. It needs to break through all this clump of moving averages, get above the daily pivot, and maybe then it could look like a possible long side. Okay, Canadian dollar has put in almost a bullish Orami yesterday, and it's been pushing up since then. Well, it's now looking slightly, it's not really done any significant higher lows, higher highs sort of thing. It's just drifted upwards here, but all the same, it's there's a reasonable drift, but some divergence into these daily R2s. Again, very pinched price action yesterday, which has seen the pivots tight here today, so we may see some overrun of these today. But at the moment, holding into that R2 may just come back for its daily pivot at some point. If oil, let's just a quick look at oil. You see oil's eased off a little bit here, so it's a similar principle. So if oil was to start a little bit of rally, that could cause the Canadian dollar then to drop back down towards the daily pivot, maybe beyond towards that R1. But so as I say, very pinched movement from yesterday. Okay, all in all, today we have got some data coming out at 12 o'clock. We've got the interest rate decision from the Bank of England, and then at 1:30 we've got the inflation data coming out. So some data is coming out this morning. That's about it, really. Aussie dollar's already been done, so Aussie news. So that's it for me. Hope you have a great one. Bye for now.